Good chat. We are back. You feel me? Face all smooth and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but look though, man. We're gonna keep going from basically talking about the same shit for the 3 days. So I recently downloaded TikTok, right? And I've been seeing this shit like on my page every once in a while of like niggas saying like I've always been alone. And the reality of it is every human being is alone with themselves. I was telling my little sister this because even though she may be 13, I still talk to her like she's a grown adult because those are the conversations I wish I had at her age. And even then, any person I talk to who is younger than me, who does get that feeling of loneliness or they're by themselves, and I say indulge in that feeling, feel uncomfortable in that. And the reason why is because, nigga, we're always here on this planet by ourselves, no matter what. No matter if you're in a relationship, you live with family, none of that matters. At the end of the day, when I wake up in the morning, whatever I'm thinking is only me. Whatever I feel is only me. Whatever happens to me throughout that day happened to me. I can feel and experience and express that. So it's the same with every human being. The only difference is I'm comfortable with being by myself and being lonely and being a loner, whatever you want to call it. So I remember some shit kicked off when I was in high school talking about popular loners. And I'm like, nigga, you're just because like it's corny as fuck. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because niggas are like, oh, they're telling me like I'm a popular loner. I'm like, well, nigga, I mean, I got friends. You want to consider, oh, but you're not always around them. You're not, because it's like, nigga, I don't gotta always be around people, bro. To be authentically me and to express myself, I don't need to be around anybody besides myself. But guess what? I wake up, I'm myself. I sit on the couch, I play the game, I do schoolwork. Me. It's always going to be you. And I don't even express me or I or anything like that from what y'all see on camera, from what most people see when they look at me in person. I view me as in like my soul itself, my awareness and of my consciousness and of the space I take up on in this realm, on this planet, in the universe. I know of that existence, and I can see that existence, feel that existence. I have every way of comprehending of what is occurring towards myself, and even feelings, emotions, or thoughts that I can't really grasp or understand. Guess what I get to feel? The uncertainty of those feelings, the misunderstanding and a misrepresentation of that emotional state or that thought, or whatever vibe I'm feeling, whatever frequency I'm on, right? And I think a lot of people feel like this feeling I had, and I always say it's darkness, but I think I have a better word for it. My best word would be unfamiliarity. And why do I say that? It's because even when I'm feeling lonely, loneliness now is way different than what I was feeling in, what the fuck is going on, whatever, nigga. Loneliness is way different of an emotional state, in a mental state, than what some young men are going through and what I used to go through myself. It's unfamiliarity of your own change and development as a character. And a lot of young men, especially myself, I'm not excluding myself out of it, but I've definitely learned quite a lot just being on my own, nigga. And that is, when you're experiencing that, those feelings and those emotions, you more likely mistitle it and misjudge it, because you're trying to comprehend and find some ground to stand on, something that's familiar. But since it's such an unfamiliar feeling and it's a fleeting feeling, it's hard to really get comfortable in that and diagnose it. That's why I always say it's uncertainty or being unfamiliar with that emotional state. And a lot of young men get this not only from changing and transitioning into becoming themselves, becoming a better character of themselves, but also when they lose their sight of what they want to do in life. A lot of people get this feeling when they don't have anything that inspires them to wake up in the morning. For instance, even though I go to work and my job's whatever, I could give a fuck less if I work there tomorrow or not, and I'm grateful for my work. But it's not something I'm passionate about, being a debt collector. That's not something that's like, oh, nigga, I wake up every day. Not at all. My place on this planet is to educate, to teach, and more importantly, is to just help others. That's truly what I found the interest in. My biggest interest on this planet is truthfully helping people no matter what the consequence is, or who that individual is to me. And one of the things that hurt my heart, what I see every day in LA, is motherfuckers who are homeless. I wish I had the capability of saying, here, nigga, here's 10K. Here's like that 10K doesn't affect me. Here's $10,000. Go get you somewhere to eat. Go shower. Go get a month, a month of where you can sit there and be, damn, I have a place to fucking stay so I can get on my feet. I can go buy two outfits and get on my feet and go find work. Even though I'm wearing those 2 outfits each day, at least that first 2 weeks of me wearing them same fucking outfits and I get to wash them bitches, guess what? My next check comes in and I'm able to build on top of that. That's what I truly wish I could do. But as of this time, I can't. And let me draw back into it though. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is that is my purpose. A lot of people who walk this planet lose sight of their purpose, lose sight of their sense of belonging and their self-worth. And it kind of contradicts like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing X, Y, Z, and I still don't get this right feeling, or anytime I'm by myself at home, or I'm it's late at night and it's just me and my thoughts, I start to get to this feeling, and that feeling will always arise and come up until you become very comfortable within yourself and being yourself. A lot of people try to display this perfect scenario of who they are and try to display that to the world, especially with social media, because everything looks bright and dandy on social media. However, that's not the case at all, no matter what it is. There's a lot of your favorite YouTubers, streamers, content, whoever you watch, whoever you like to, whoever entertains you, those people go feel the same emotions that you go through, and most likely did feel those same emotions that you go through until they figured out, this is who I am, this is who I want to be, this is what I want to provide the planet, this is me, right? This is who I am. I can say I can locate and say, oh, it doesn't matter what happens on this world, I'm still this person. So a lot of these people who are rather looking up to social media influencers or, just feel alone, man. Just take some time to really just sit with yourself and ask certain questions. Ask who you are. Ask what's your purpose. Ask your sense of belonging. Is it through religion? Is it through more serious connotation and deeper understanding of who you are? There's a lot of different questions that people fail to ask and want to more or less dilute themselves of who they actually are. And so let me take this into this scenario with the male loneliness epidemic, as some people say, right? A couple of days ago, I talked about the woman's side. I think yesterday I talked about how a lot of men feel and the standards they set. But the reality is, man, it all comes down to social media and what it does to the brain. A lot of men think that the need to get shit done ASAP is how it is. But unfortunately, a lot of the men you do see, like I said yesterday, rather young influencers who are my age or motherfuckers who are in their 30s and 40s in the midst of their career, the reason why these people get the attention they have is because they worked for it. They bust their ass for it. And a lot of men don't have a delayed gratitude, especially in today's world, because everything's just provided to you. Even though, I mean, I could say handed, I feel like that's more like a spoiled privilege type of situation, but I wouldn't really call it like handed. It's in front of your face. If you have the ability to look on the internet, you're going to have the ability to see a bunch of the bullshit that gets popped up, negative, positive, whatever the case is, of different people saying, oh, nigga, this is what I got, or they're renting shit to display this image. It doesn't matter. The point is they're trying to display this perfect image of themselves, and it makes a lot of people, especially young men, feel like, damn, I'm behind. I lack, and I always come from a lack. And once you start to develop that mindset, it affects your world around you. One of the best things my dad's ever said to me was, how you feel about yourself internally, what your world is to you internally, what you think of the world is the world itself, because your perception is the most important thing. Your perception of yourself, your perception of the world around you is your world. So if you think the world's all dead and gloomy like I used to, nigga, guess what? The world's going to be dead and gloomy, and there's not going to be shit that excites you besides sitting there getting away from the world. That's why I love fucking video games. It's a mental escape. For a lot of young men, it feels that way. For a lot of men in general who grew up rather playing Call of Duty back in the glory days, like 2012 or 2015 or some shit like that, from MW2 to Black Ops 3. A lot of men who were teenagers then still feel the same way, even though they're pushing now into their, early 30s or their late 20s. And the main reason for that is because it's still, the world to them is still dead and gloomy unless they've transitioned past that and they've learned something about themselves or they change their perspective. It all comes down to perception and your perspective of the world. If you are constantly feeling down, gloomy, and dead, and you feel that the same way about the world, or you feel a certain thing about yourself, the world is going to perceive that because that is the energy you're presenting. If I truly believe, and I'm delusional about it, and this is why this is why I was talking to my brother about this with self-belief. If I truly believe something is going to happen no matter what, motherfucker, that shit's going to happen because I'm going to figure out some way because I'm so delusional to create it into its existence. For instance, if I sat down right now and I was like, look, you know what? I want to make my house a whorehouse. Excuse my language. I want to make my house a whorehouse. I want naked women, at least 20 women in this bitch daily, just butt ass naked. And if I believe that every day I'm going to make my house a whorehouse, it's going to happen one day. It hasn't happened yet, but it will happen eventually. Just a matter of time, right? I don't want that, obviously. I'm using an extreme example. But the reason I'm making it is because once you find your self-worth and a sense of belonging that comes with finding something greater than you. That's why I say it always extends back to your purpose on this planet. My purpose is greater than myself. I don't do helping people because I feel better about myself. I do helping people because that's just what it is. That's what I feel my purpose is to help other people. Even though I'm in the opposite right now for collections, it kind of like fucks up. But hey, you learn to realize that a lot of motherfuckers just they're not the brightest. But we're never gonna touch that up. We're not. That's a whole rant itself. That's a thought for another day. But helping people in and of itself is my purpose, my belonging. I mean, another thing that is beyond me is my relationship with my higher self or my consciousness. I'm always able to sit back and watch my thoughts. And a lot of people who are at war with themselves aren't really able to do that, and they're caught up with their own mind. But once again, another topic. The point is, though, my sense of belonging is here. My self-worth comes from the beliefs I have within myself and the promises I kept and instill within myself to do so. I'll give you all a bright example. For instance, I'm very keen on sticking to my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Told my manager, before I leave this bitch, I'm going to be the top collector. And I am climbing the ranks pretty fucking quickly. I literally said within a year, I'll be on Chase in working the best paper at that firm. Now I work the best paper at that firm. Self-belief, nigga. There's no guarantee that was going to happen. That was just self-belief in myself that I'm going to achieve that and do said thing. So it all works out with the same way, from talking to other strangers to network, from talking to that guy you got a crush on, that girl you got a crush on, whatever you're into. It comes down from your ability and your work ethic. It comes down to your ability to perform while playing a sport, playing a video game, your ability to continue to move forward through adversity. It all comes down to your self-belief and quite honestly, self-confidence. I think self-worth, self-confidence, and self-belief are all intertwined. You can't have self-confidence without the two underlying ones, which is your self-worth, what makes your reasoning for belong, and who you are, number one. And the self-belief is your ability to say it doesn't matter what the odds are. This is just what's going to happen, being delusional. Every person who is successful in some degree is delusional, and every person who doesn't hold that feeling of like emptiness or sorrow in themselves also get that same thing. I'm not saying I don't feel that emotion at all. I'm still human like the rest of us. I still go through my spouts of loneliness and discomfort. I still have those, and I have those thoughts daily. I always ask myself each fucking day, who the fuck am I? Not the skin that I see, not the eyes, not the glimmer that you see, that glow, like that soul. You see these white pupils right here? You may think, oh, that's just, the camera or something in the background. But if you really look beyond that, you see a little nice glimmer in my eyes. What gives me that glimmer besides actually, the chemical release of my body doing something to protect itself or whatever the fuck? I don't know. There's some multiple different mechanisms. That's some shit I gotta have to ask my brother. But what really gives my soul something that says, I chose this body, I chose this realm, I chose this existence, this experience to be in? What is my purpose of being here? Who am I? Why am I? What created and caused that collision? Because probability shows every human being who walks this planet, you're one in fucking billions. Besides the human beings on the planet, think of all the sperm as well, one in billions. What provides me that? So For men with this male loneliness epidemic, it really comes from an external belief of believing that there's a male loneliness epidemic. And as most men who are, not experiencing that or still having success with women or whatever the case is, for every social standard you could think of that social media prevails and prevents men from interacting with people, it makes you realize that none of that really matters at the end of the day. None of that does. So, altogether, man, this 15-minute video, this was a 3-day rant about this same shit, male loneliness epidemic. That just tells you how long I've been deep I've been thinking about this shit. So more or less, man, for a lot of the men out there who believes it's false hope and there's not much you can do, just keep pushing forward. And that's why I say that. Move, at least do something. Being stagnant is the cease of your existence. Your cells are constantly moving. You breathing is constantly moving. There's nothing on this planet that is not in constant state of movement. Even a static piece like this fucking king. This king on my palm. This nigga right here. Even if he was not wobbling, guess what? Once he stops moving, to my eyes, on a molecular level, he is moving. Your cells are constantly moving. Everything is always in a state of motion. So be like nature. Be like physics. Move. Get past this emotional state and this feeling that you're down in the dumps. And if you feel like you gotta hide to avoid it, push into it. Feel it. Grasp a hold of it. Get an understanding of it and be comfortable and familiar with this feeling, no matter what type of feeling it is, and then move past it. The more you hold and linger on to something, the more you hold on to something, or you try to move past and move away and not address, the longer that shadow or that emotional state holds on to you. That's why grief takes such a long time until people actually sit there and feel the emotions to move beyond it. Yes, we're meant to lose people in this life, and the purpose of that grieving state is to be able to accept that we are no longer going to be able to have that person in our lives. That works with every emotional state. Emotional state. All I gotta say, man, is hopefully y'all doing well. Once again, I appreciate y'all watching the videos. Catch y'all.